Greetings, my name is Benjamin Martin. Welcome to our part 2 of our Linux introduction. In the previous video we touched up on what Linux was, what the terminal was, what the shell was, and we started on some file management commands. So we're going to continue off where we left off and look at more file management commands. On the previous video we looked at what ls did. ls shows us all the directories and files in our current directory. So we have dos and hello.c in our current working directory, which is /var/root. We looked at the command cd, which is change directory, and we have a shortcut to change the directory back to the root directory, which is just a /. So we can go ahead and do that, and you notice that we go back to the / here, which takes us back to the root directory. And then if I want to change directory onto what is next in the file tree, I can do change directory. We know that var is in the root directory because of what we see right here, /var. So we're going to do change directory var. We're in var. Let's see what files are inside of var. We have root and tmp. And then in the previous video we ended with me creating a new directory. And the command for making a new directory is going to be mkdir. And then you give it a name after that. And we just went with bin, which is my name. mkdir bin. Let it run. And then we do ls in var again, and you notice that we now have the root and tmp, which was in there, root tmp, but now we have an additional directory called bin. And then I believe we ended with me going into our new bin directory, and now you can see we have var/bin, and then if I view the files and directories inside of bin, it's obviously going to be empty because it is, in fact, a new directory. So let's go ahead and put something in our new directory. So the way we can add a text file is by first doing the little forward arrow key and type file.txt to create a new empty file. It is an empty text file as well because of the .txt extension. So now we do ls inside of our bin, and look, we have our file.txt. It is no longer an empty directory. Now if you do this on an actual Linux machine instead of just this emulator that I have here, you'll actually notice that this new file.txt is going to be inside of your file explorer. So you could go inside of your Explorer and you will see it there. It's not just going to be inside this terminal, it's actually on your computer now. And you can click on it and you can open it with a text editor and you can edit the text in it or whatnot. You can even edit the text inside of the terminal, which I'll show you. We start by giving the command echo, and I'm going to put in here I love cookies, because I do love cookies. Cookies are amazing. Follow that up with another arrow key, space, file.txt to tell our terminal that that's where we want this new text to go. Alright, so there we are. Now our text file was edited and it should now have I love cookies inside of it. So let's open our new text file. We're not necessarily opening it, but we're just looking at the contents inside of it, and you can use this by the more command that is also in the slide that I showed you in the last video. So more space the name of our file, which is file.txt. Hit the enter key and you will see that I love cookies is inside of file.txt. But let's say we now have a problem. Let's say that loving cookies is illegal. So we want to remove this file. We don't want to get caught by the police because loving cookies is illegal. So the command to remove a file is going to be rm, that's in the slide I showed you in the last video, rm space and then the name of the file. So rm file.txt, let it run. We'll do ls to look at the files inside of the directory bin, and you notice that it is now empty. It does not contain file.txt anymore, and nobody will ever know that we left cookies. And now let's get rid of the entire directory. We don't need this directory anymore. Its only purpose was to make that text file. So we can't actually delete a directory that we were inside of, so we have to go to the directory previous to that, which in this case is var. So we're going to do cd, and you can't actually type in var here, because if you do cd var, it will look for var inside of bin, and var does not exist inside of bin. var exists inside the root directory. So the shortcut for going back to the previous directory is just a minus sign, and it'll take us back to var. See? Now, to remove an empty directory, it has to be empty. We do rm dir, looks very similar to what we did earlier. Rm dir space the name of the directory, and there we go. So now if we do ls inside of var, the bin directory is no longer there. But what if in different cases the directory isn't empty? You can't use rmdir because there are things inside of it. rmdir only removes empty directories. In that case, you would do rm -R, and then type the name of the directory, whatever that may be, and it will remove the directory and all of its contents. So I'll go ahead and show you that real quick. We're just going to make a new directory, mkdir, name this one cookies. So we got ls, cookies is now inside there. Let's put an empty file called cookies.txt inside of the directory cookies. Oops, I accidentally put that inside of var. So we'll get rid of that later. We'll do change directory, we'll go inside of cookies, and then we'll create our file cookies.txt. We do the ls command and we note that cookies.txt is inside of the directory cookies. So let's do cd, use our shorthand to go back to the previous directory. We are now on var, and we're going to do rm-R, and then the name of the directory we want to remove, which is cookies. It ran, do ls, and ignore the cookies.txt, that's the file that I accidentally put in, but the actual blue text cookies is now gone, which is right here. Blue text cookies is gone, which is what I was deleting. But getting rid of this cookies.txt is not a problem either. We've already showed you how to do that. Just rm cookies.txt, ls to view the files, and you note that it is now gone as well. Okay, and that concludes all the basic file management commands I was going to show you. Again, my name is Ben Martin, and this is the end of part 3. We will probably finish everything up in, end of part 2. We will probably finish everything up in part 3. I will show you the file system trees and the little shorthand things I've been showing you here and there. I'll actually show you what all of them mean. I'll show you all of them and how they work. So I'll see you in part 3. Thank you very much.